Here at Facebook, name of the poster is Ancient Aliens Forbidden Knowledge. And the post is entitled Geoengineering Whistleblower, Ex-Military Kristen Meghan. Chemtrails, the conspiracy theory that never was, which begins the geoengineering program, has been going on for so long, is so well funded, and was so carefully applied at the start that nobody noticed. But that was the intention. And when you have limitless amounts of money and a whole chain of command at your disposal, with a need-to-know clearance attached, not even the sky's the limit. Now they know they can get away with it. They have become almost reckless with the trails. They know that the general population are so absorbed with the apps on their latest smartphone that they hardly have time to look up. I get asked questions that begin with, why would they? How could they? As if we were talking about some kindly, gentle old grandmother. And there's the problem. We live in an age of takeaway food, instant coffee, and TV programs. But what comes with that is an armchair reality. We're so used to having people pre-prepare our lives that we have lost the ability to apply reason and go seek the truth. Especially as most of the time they operate in complete secrecy, and so regularly demonstrate they do not have our best interests at heart. Corruption is obvious throughout the government, police, media, banking, and corporations. When the need arises, they rally to protect each other and close ranks to hide evidence behind an impenetrable veil of secrecy. People's protests are ignored, promises broken, bonuses paid, expenses claimed, and life at the top continues unabated. Meanwhile, ordinary people are losing their jobs, their homes, and their privacy. Thanks to closed-circuit television, we are watched in the street, in the shop, in the garage, in the library, in the car park, in the school, in the hospital. Cameras can even be found in some school changing rooms. This is not a healthy state of affairs. At home, our online activity is followed, and our personal details and preferences are shared among people we don't even know. Some councils are encouraging us to spy on each other, as if the state wasn't doing that well enough already, and then tell tales, something that responsible parents have always actively discouraged. We have endured generations of being controlled. We have accepted authority for the most part without question. We have followed the rules, often against our better judgment, while the rule makers have consistently broken the rules themselves, and all the while, the gap between the haves and have-nots grows exponentially. Yet still we trust they will do the right thing eventually. Where's the proof of that? We should be asking who is benefiting from all this control, and who is controlling the controllers, as they are clearly unable to control themselves most of the time. What we are in real danger of losing, for good, are all the most valuable and treasured gifts we inherited as human beings when we were born: freedom, independence, privacy, the right to make choices for ourselves, for our families, especially for our children. the right to own property, grow our own food, have access to fresh water. It seems ridiculous to have to be saying it, writes the author, but I will add to this list the right to a safe, unpolluted natural environment and a clean sky. You know it with a super chat. You know it, says Bill. The apocalypse doomsday preppers are starting to look more and more sane, day by day. Time to start making my homemade gas mask. Love your show, sir. Thank you, sir, so much. Your super chat is so much appreciated. It is so helpful. Thank you, you know it. As sentient human beings, we've always had an unbreakable connection to nature. But now we are living at a time when there is more outside interference in our natural lives than there has ever been in history. Food, climate, and living standards are all being engineered. And we asked for it. We are constantly involved in wars with people we don't know, in countries that are as far from us in culture as they are in distance. But news shows have taught us to accept what we are told and to believe what we are shown. News shows owned by corporations. Yet we live our lives to a very great degree within mass media, where fact and fiction are almost indistinguishable from one another. The only way most people measure truth these days is by the amount of faith they have in who is telling the story. Often their truth comes from just one newspaper or one television news channel that they follow without question. For me, it's MSNBC. Despite this narrow conduit of knowledge, they will defend that truth to the bitter end. Against all your hard-earned research on the internet. And suddenly you are being described by them to others as a conspiracy theorist. And so to chemtrails. We all know that the weather isn't right. That the sky is white or gray, blue most of the time. There are droughts or floods, and the trees are dying. The sunshine is lovely when we get it, but then it's too hot. We all complain because it gets blamed on global warming or climate change. And we've been persuaded to believe that it's all our fault. It is not. Chemtrails have been discussed for years as a possible solution for correcting the world's weather. But all the while, those discussions were taking place amongst recognized establishment. It was already in place and in full swing, just adding to the climate confusion. They were having their discussions in the dark anyway, because it had already been sanctioned and financed by people at a much higher level with the necessary connections to the military and commercial airlines.